Chapter number 2. The Falling Star. Then came the night of the first falling star. It was seen early in the morning, rushing over Winchester eastward, a line of flame high in the atmosphere. Hundreds must have seen it and taken it for an ordinary falling star. Albin described it as leaving a greenish streak behind it. Denying our greatest authority on meteorites, stated that its height was about 90 or 100 miles. I was at home, writing in my study. I saw nothing of it. Some of those who saw its flight say it traveled with a hissing sound. I myself heard nothing of that. No one seems to have troubled to look for the fallen mass that night, though many saw it fall. But early in the morning, poor Ogilvy, who had seen the shooting star, rose with the idea of finding it. Find it he did. Soon after dawn, not afar from the sandpits, an enormous hole had been made by the impact of a thing, and sand and gravel had been flung in every direction. Heaps made by it were visible a mile and a half away. Small evergreen bushes that have small purple or white flowers called heather were on fire, and blue smoke rose round the hole. The thing itself lay almost buried in the sand. The uncovered part had the appearance of a huge cylinder, caked over by a thick scaly crust. It had a diameter of about 30 yards. Ogilvy came close to the mass, surprised at its size and shape. Most meteorites are completely round. It was, however, still hot from the flight through the air, and he could not go nearer. He remained standing at the edge of the pit that the thing had made for itself. The early morning was still. Ogilvy did not remember hearing any birds that morning. There was no breeze either, and the only sounds were the faint movements from within the cylinder. He was all alone. Then suddenly he noticed with a start that some of a grey clinker, the ashy crust that covered the meteorite, was falling off the circular edge of the end. It was dropping off in flakes of the sand. A large piece suddenly came off and fell with a sharp noise. It brought his heart into his mouth. For a second he did not realize what this meant, and then he saw that, very slowly, the circular top of the cylinder was rotating on its body. It was a very gradual movement. Then the thing came upon him in a flash. The cylinder was artificial, hollow, with an end that screwed out. Something within the cylinder was unscrewing the top. "Good heavens," said Ogilvy. "There is a man in it." "Man in it?" "Half roasted to death, trying to escape." At once, with a quick mental leap, he linked the thing with a flash upon Mars. The thought that men were confined in the cylinder was so dreadful that he forgot the heat and went forward to help them turn the cylinder. But luckily he stopped. Before he could burn his hand on the still glowing metal, he then stumbled out of the pit and set off running wildly into walking. The time was about 6 o'clock. He met a wagoner and a potman on the way. They both thought he was a madman and did not listen to his story. Then he saw Henderson, the London journalist, working in his garden. "Henderson," he called, "you saw the shooting star last night?" "Well," said Henderson, "it's out on Horsell Common now, but it's more than a meteorite. It's a cylinder, an artificial cylinder, man, and there is something inside." Henderson stood up. "What's that?" he said. Ogilvy told him all he had seen. The two men hurried back at once to the common, a stretch of open land between the towns of Horsell, Shobham, and Woking, and found the cylinder lying in the same position, but the sounds inside had ceased now, and a thin circle of bright metal shot between the top and the body of the cylinder. Air was either entering or escaping at the rim with a thin, sizzling sound. They listened, rapped on the scaly metal with a stick. Meeting with no response, they both thought that the man or men inside must be unconscious or dead. They both went off back to the town to get help. Henderson went into the railway station at once in order to telegraph the news to London. The newspaper articles prepared man's mind for the reception of the idea. By 8 o'clock, a number of boys and unemployed men had already started for the common to see the dead man from Mars. That was the form the story took. I heard of it first from my newspaper boy about quarter to 9 when I went out to get my daily chronicle. I was naturally startled and immediately left to see the sandpits.